Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we're going to build a wife converted project using JavaScript. So this is the demo. First of all, we have the input, okay, getting the data from the user. Next, we have the convert. So here's the options. We have four of the different options that you can convert into. You can convert into pounds, kilograms, ounce, and stone. So first, let's say if I just enter 15 of the grams value, and I can convert into the kilograms, the stones, ounce, and pounds. Alright, other than that, I also create the form validations. If my input is empty and I convert it, you will see we have the error message. Please provide a valid gram. Alright, and now let's get started to build this project. Alright, so to get started, okay, create a class with the name of wrapper. So inside of wrapper, I have the paragraph, enter a value in grams. Next, we have the input type of text. And so I'll just remove the name attribute. So set the ID as the grams and create the BR tag, which is the line break. And we have the spam ID error. So this spam is to hold the error message. Right, next we have the paragraph again. So we have to convert to, so this is the selection, the options. Okay, also remove the name attribute and set the ID attribute as the type. Okay, so here's the output. Okay, so we have input and we have the selections. Alright, so inside our selection, obviously we have the options. So I'm gonna set the pounds and this is the text pounds. Right, and let's go ahead to copy this line and paste it for 3 times. Okay, so we have to change this text to kilograms. And the third one, change to ounce, CS, and the last one is the stones. Right, and for the value, we also have to change to kilograms, ounce, and the stones. Alright, so the last one is the button. Alright, so whenever the button is been fired up, it's been clicked, so I'm going to calculate the result. So I'm going to giving an ID button and a text convert. And next is the paragraph ID, which is going to hold the output value. Alright, so we've done for the contact part, so we can move on to the CSS. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the HTML tag. So I'm gonna set the height to 100%. Okay, next is the body tag. So I'm gonna set the background color and I'm gonna using the linear gradient. And I'm gonna using the angle to right hand side. And here's the color code. So hashtag 141E30 and the next color code is hashtag 243B55. Alright, so next I'm gonna set all the color to white, set the font family to Arial. Okay, next I would like to style the output, which is this paragraph, the final result to hold the final value output. So I'm gonna set the font size to 30 pixels and set the spam. So this spam is to hold the error message. So I'm gonna set the color to red, white space set to no wrap, font size 30 pixels. Okay, so next one is to style the wrapper, which is all the contact part over here. A div, okay, so positions set to absolute and the top 15. Okay, left hand side to 15 pixels, and I'm gonna set the transform. Transform translate to negative 50% and negative 50%. Okay, so next set the background. I'm gonna using the RGBA. So for the first red color, I'm gonna set as 0, remain as 0, and the blue also 0. So for the alpha, I'm gonna set the opacity, which is 0.5. Okay, I'm gonna giving some of the padding. So not the padding, so I'm gonna set the border radius first. Set to 10 pixels and giving the padding to 30 pixels. Right, next I can set the box shadow to RGB. So for the red color, I'm gonna go for 38. Sorry. Yeah, the red color 38. So for the green, go for 57. So for the blue, 17. Okay, so I'm gonna set the angle. So 0 pixels and 20 pixels, 30 pixels and negative 10 pixels. Alright, and next we're going to style the input, okay, which is this input. Okay, I'm gonna set the border to none and the border bottom. Set the border bottom to 1 pixels, solid hashtag FFF. Next, I'm gonna set the outline to none, and for the background, I can set to transparent. Obviously, I'm gonna set the color to white. So okay, that's great. And next is to style the selections, okay, which is this selections. Okay, I'm gonna set the outline to none. Okay, so that next is the button tag, okay, which is this button, and I'm gonna set the color to white, giving some of the padding 10 pixels for the sides. Set the border to 1 pixels, solid white, and background ground set to none, cursor pointer. Right, and that's great. So we're done for the CSS part. Now we can move on to the JavaScript part. Alright, so first we can get through the button tag, so the ID. So I'm gonna create a let keyword, the variable of button. So I'm gonna get through the ID tag, which is the button. So this ID button is coming from over here. Okay, this button. So whatever this button is being clicked, and I'm gonna set the event listener. Okay, it's being clicked, and here's the code to be run. Alright, so first of all, we have to create the variable. So we have to const-gram, and I'm gonna using the passing function, which is convert the strings into the number. So document get element by ID is getting from the grams of the value. Right, so this grams is actually coming from right here. So whatever the user input 1, 2, 3, and it's being convert, this button is being fired up. So we have to get through the value. So 1, 2, 3 as the strings, and using this method to convert strings into number. So therefore 1, 2, 3 is gonna be storing inside this variable of grams. Okay, so next I'm gonna hold the const type. So this types to check which of the type the user would like to convert it. Okay, document get element by ID getting from the type of the value. right? So this ID type is getting from right here and grab through the value. So if the user select kilograms, it's gonna be a whole disk of the kilograms value and storing into this type. Okay, so next we can using the if else statement to check if the user input is empty, and we're gonna throw the error message to the user. Okay, so I'm gonna using gram. So this gram is actually getting from over here, right? The variable. So it's gonna be checked if the user enters value is empty. So we're gonna return the empty strings over here. Okay, or it's not a number, grams. I want to make sure all the input getting from user is the number. Okay, if it's empty or equals it's not the number, so I'm gonna using document element by ID. Oops, sorry. So grams dot focus it. So how this focus is works? So I'm gonna getting this grams, which is this input, right? So if the value is empty or it's not a number, obviously I'm gonna focus through the input. So let's say if I just convert it, you will see that okay, it's gonna be focus it. So refresh this again. So convert and it's been focused up. Right. So next document get element by ID. So this time I'm gonna grab through the error ID in a HTML and say that please provide a variable, right? And next document get element by ID. Okay, the output dot in a HTML, I'm gonna set it as the empty. Right, so if it's empty or it's not a number of the grams, the value getting from the input from the user. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna focus the input, the type, the form, and next I'm gonna return an error message over here. So this error is getting from this spam, so I'm gonna return. Please provide a valid grams, and I'm gonna set the output, which is the output result, set as empty. Okay, else the value, okay, the user enter the value, okay, it's not empty and it's not a number, okay, sorry, it's a number. So else in document element by ID. So the error message I'm gonna set as empty, which is to remove the error message if the number is valid. Okay, so next I'm gonna using the switch case to check the type. Right, so this is the type. Okay, so we have to use a switch case to check which is the type that the user selected. Okay, switch type and the case. So if the case is equals to pound, so if the user select this pound, so make sure of this value is the same, it's exactly the same over here. So if the case is equals to pounds, so I'm gonna call a function which is convert pounds, and over here I would like to pass by the parameters, which is the grams of the value. Okay, next make sure you set as to break. So next is the next case is this kilograms. So I'm gonna copy over here, and if the type is equals to kilograms, so I'm gonna call another functions, which is to pass by. Okay, so I'm gonna call another function which is convert kilograms and another break. So I'm gonna copy this, paste it for 2 times. Okay, I'm gonna match it. Right, so the third one, which is the ounce, so I'm gonna grab through it and paste it over here. So next is the stones and pass over here. Right, so instead of convert kilograms, so over here I'm gonna call as convert ounce. So for the stones, STONES, okay, which is stones. Alright, so I'm gonna set as the default value. So if it's not equals to 4 of them, and just alert a message error. Alright, so next we have to create the functions, which is the convert. So I'm gonna running convert pounds. So over here, which is the parameter, right? Which is the gram of the value getting from the user. Right, so functions convert pounds, and we have to create the let keyword rate. So 0.002. So this is the formula to convert the grams into the pounds. And also create a comma, the pounds variable name, and we have to do some of the calculations, which is using the pounds. So this pounds hold the result using this pounds grams times with the rate. So this grams getting from the user input, and this rate is this value. So it's going to be do some calculations and storing inside this pound. And lastly, we have to document.getElement by ID, which is the output result in HTML. And alright, so access to this gram value, the user value. So on sum of the text, grams is equals to, so plus signs to access the pounds, which is the final value, and dot to fix, using to fix method to return the decimal point. So we're gonna pass by 3 plus the pounds. Alright, so we're gonna test out 1, 2, 3 and convert into pounds. So you see that 1 to 3 grams is equals to 0.271. So if I just leave it empty, so please provide a valid gram. So if I just select kilogram, you see that's not gonna be work. That's because we haven't created the functions convert grams. Alright, so we'll just make it as fast as I could. So I'm gonna paste it for 3 times. So instead of pounds, so this one should be the kilograms. This one should be the ounce. Last is the stones. Right, so this gram, we'll just remain it. So for the rate, we have to change. This one should be 0.001. So instead of pound, just set as the kilograms. So we're gonna, the variable of kilograms is gonna hold the result of grams times with the rate, and over here grams equals to grams, so all of this is remain. So for this one we have to change to kilograms, and this one we have to change to kg. Alright, so next one, which is the ounce. So this, the formula is 0.0352 so this formula is I getting from online. So instead of pounds, so we have the ounce. Sorry. So the ounce is gonna hold the final result. So ounce to fix, return 3 of the decimal points. So this one should be return ounce. Alright, so the last one, which is the stone. So change the rate 0.00015 747. So instead of pounds, this one should be the stones. So this is going to be hold the final result of stones, and stones to fix. This one should be passed by stones. Alright, so now we have done for it. Now let's go ahead to try. So enter the value of grams. So I would like to convert into pounds. So 123 grams is equals to 0.271 pounds. So kilograms and the ounce and the stones. So check for the validations. Now it's working. So that's it for this tutorial, and hopefully you'll learn something from this video, how we can convert the grams into 4 of the different selections. Alright, so that's it for this tutorial, and I see you guys in the next JavaScript project.